Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah Ta'ala accept all your good deeds, all your ibadah, all your efforts in this blessed month of Ramadan, and continue to do good deeds after Ramadan as well, because I love you for the sake of Allah Ta'ala. Various questions and answers about Zakah, the third pillar of Islam, as per the views of the trusted scholars, will be the topic of our reminder today, inshallah ta'ala. In these few minutes, we will try to raise questions and answer them in a very simple way, very simple manner, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, in order all of us to understand it and comprehend it. So let's go to the question number 1. Who are those eligible for zakat money or zakat funds? Allah Ta'ala has mentioned in Surah At-Tawbah. Surah At-Tawbah is chapter 9 of the Noble Quran, verse 60, 8 channels and categories which zakat money can be spent or can be given. I will kindly advise you to visit this verse to read about these categories and channels that Allah Ta'ala has mentioned in the Noble Quran. Is very interesting for you to read what scholars said about them. And also, as always, I said I want to connect you with the Noble Quran out of my love for you for the sake of Allah Ta'ala. Question number 2. Is it permissible to limit the payment of zakah on one person among the 8 categories? Yes, this can be done, as it is proven in the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can give only one person, no issue with that. Question number 3. What is the conditions of paying zakat? 2 conditions must be met in order zakat to be compulsory upon a Muslim. First condition, the money must reach what we call nisab. Nisab is the minimum threshold at which zakat becomes due on somebody, and 1 full lunar hijri year has passed. So if you obtain the nisab, which is the minimum threshold at which zakat becomes due, and 1 full year hijri has passed, then you have to pay zakat on that amount that you have, or you keep for the whole 1 year. Point to explain. Nisab is the equivalent of 85 grams of gold or 595 grams of silver. So if you have money which you can purchase 85 grams of gold with it, or 595 grams of silver, and you keep it for the whole 1 year, means zakat is wajib, is obligatory, is compulsory upon you, and the rate to be paid is 2.5. Question number 4. What is the easiest way to calculate zakat? My brother, my sister in Islam, whatever amount you have and you want to calculate your zakat, you want to know your zakat, just divide it to 40. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have $1,000 as the nisab, and you keep it for the whole 1 year. What you have to do is that $1,000 divided by 40, the outcome will be 25, and that 25 will be the amount to be paid for your zakat. Another example, let's say you have $10,000. $10,000 divided by 40, the outcome will be 250. So that 250 will be the amount to be paid for the zakat. I think this is very easy for all of us. Whatever amount you have, even $1 million, they just divide it to 40. The outcome will be the amount of zakat to be paid. Question number 5. How to pay zakat on salary, on wages? This question is often asked by people. There are two ways to do it, two methods. The first one is very difficult, which is you have to write every month the money that you save, the nisab that you save. Let's say you save the first nisab in May, you write it. June, you write it. July, you write it. August, you write it until next year. This will be very difficult. This entails some kind of hardship, as the issue is that you will be paying zakat several times in 1 year. For instance, next year May you will have to pay. You will start paying next year May. June you pay. July you pay. So this is very difficult for you because you have to write and pay each month. But the simple and easiest way, as scholars mentioned, is that your first nisab is in May. You save, let's say your salary is $3,000 and you manage to save $1,500, which is nisab. First May. So next year you manage to save a lot of money. June you save, July you save, August you save. The scholars said next year May, first May, you have to pay zakat from the whole amount in your possession. The amount the year has passed, which is the May, the first May, and the amount which is a year has not yet passed. Because, and this can be considered as paying zakat in advance, and paying zakat in advance is acceptable in Islam, is allowed in Islam. So when you pay the whole amount in your possession, like you paid the zakat in advance, so next year when you are paying, you can deduct the amount that you paid this year. I hope it's clear. So the easiest way is every year you calculate the whole amount in your possession and you paid zakat out of that. Because paying zakat in advance, no issue with that. What about if somebody finishes his salary every month? Each month he doesn't have nothing to save. No issue, no zakat on him, because we said, as we mentioned, two conditions must be met in order zakat to be compulsory upon somebody. He has the nisab, the minimum threshold, and also 1 full year has passed. So if you are finishing your salary every month, so no zakat on you because you don't have it. The conditions, you don't fulfill the conditions which you have to fulfill in order to pay zakat, which is nisab and the full 1 year has passed. Question number 6. Is zakat required on one who is in debt? Let's say you are paying installment. Yes. Scholars said, which is the correct view of the scholars, being in debt does not mean zakat should not be paid. Let's say you purchase a house or car, whatever, you are paying installments. You are in debt. The scholars said that if you keep the amount in your account, you have a lot of money in your account, even though you are paying installments, you are paying debt, and the amount is not current due, and you keep it for 1 year, you have to pay zakat on the amount in your account. This is the correct view. But if the debt is due, is current, you have to pay it now. Let's say you are paying the installments. You have to, there's a card, the money you kept for 1 year is in May, and you are paying installment or May installment. The scholar said you deduct the May installment and then you pay zakat from the rest of the amount that you have in your account. So always you deduct the what we call the debt which is current due for, and repayment is being required, or you were asked to pay it, is current due. So you deduct it and the rest you have to pay zakat on it. Another question many people ask, question number 7. do we have, especially women, do I have to pay zakat on my jewelry, or do we have to pay zakat on my own possession, things that I have, like my own car, like my house that I'm living? No. As for the jewelry, according to the majority of scholars, there's no zakat on it, as long as you keep it for your own usage. Not you keep it in order to sell. If you keep it in order to sell, this can be considered as a kanz, means it's for business. That's different issue. But as you use it for your own usage, there's no zakat on it. Of course, Imam Abu Hanifa and others, some fuqaha, said that you should pay based on the hadith of the woman who came with a daughter to the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I think all of us, we know this hadith, but there are some issues with that hadith as according to scholars. But Jamhur, the majority of scholars, said that there's no zakat on the jewelry that you keep for own usage. The same thing, the house you are living in, there's no zakat. Let's say you have a house and you rented it out. There's no zakat in that house. There's no zakat in your car. There's no zakat on the taxi that you are driving. The zakat only in the money that you saved out of that rent. Let's say you rented your house and you managed to save the rent of that house, the rental that you received from that house. If you manage to save it and reach the nisab for the full 1 year, then you pay the zakat on the rental that you received, not on the house itself, on the property itself. The same thing, the car, taxi, I'm driving taxi, I will pay the zakat not on the taxi itself, rather on the money that I managed to save and which reached nisab and 1 full lunar hijri year has passed. Not zakat on the property itself. Let's say I have cars, I have whatever, there's no zakat on it, because this is what you call amwalu al-qunya. This is something that you possess, it's yours. Okay, question number 8, is it permissible for someone to pay zakah to his relatives? Yes, you are allowed. Rather, Islam encourages that you are allowed to do that as long as you are not obliged to look after them. Question number 9, is it permissible to someone to pay zakah to his parents, his grandfathers or grandparents, his sons, ascendants and descendants? Scholars said Islamically it's not allowed to do that, because you are obliged to look after them, to take care of them. But what about if the son is in debt? As long as the debt is not out of his own maintenance, he didn't take the loan in order to look after himself, which is the father's duty to do it, and he didn't do it, and the son took loan in order for his own maintenance, in this case you cannot pay your zakat, you cannot pay your zakat, or you cannot pay off his debt from your zakat, because it's your duty to look after him. But if it's just debt, he venture in some business, whatever, and then he lost his money, and then he become in debt and all this, you can help him. You can use your zakat to pay his debts, provided he didn't take the loan in order to look after himself. And this applies to father also. The son cannot pay off his debt if the father take the loan in order to look after himself. Is it permissible for a husband, question number 10, is it permissible for a husband to give his zakat to his wife? It's not allowed in Islam, because he is obliged to take care and look after her. Question number 11, is it permissible for a wife to give her zakat to her husband? Yes, it is permissible for a wife to give her zakat to her husband, as in the case of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud with his wife Zainab, where she asked Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam approved that. So the wife can give her zakat to her husband. Is it permissible to give zakat to a poor woman who is married to a rich man? No, because the husband is looking after her. The same thing, a brother who his friends, his family, relatives are looking after him, you cannot give him your zakat. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. May Allah bless you, may Allah accept all our good deeds. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Keep on going to good deeds, my brothers and sisters in Islam. Barakallahu feekum.